It was my first night shift as an intern. They gave me an old hospital to cover, the kind with cracked tiles and paint the color of sickness. The senior nurse only said one thing as she handed me the clipboard: "Stay out of Ward 13. I thought she was joking. There were 12 wards on the floor, numbered neatly, but no 13. Later, when the corridor lights flickered, I realized she hadn't been joking at all. At 2 a.m., when sleep creeps even into bones, I noticed something strange. Past Ward 12, the corridor didn't end. It bent left, a hallway that shouldn't have existed. I walked slowly, telling myself it was just storage, but the air changed warmer, heavier, like someone had been breathing into the walls for years. The floor tiles shifted color. White became gray. Gray became dark. And then I saw it. A door, wooden, chipped, with peeling paint, a brass plate hanging crooked. It read, Ward 13. The strange part, the number 13 looked hand-painted, not official, like someone had added it later. I touched the handle. It was colder than metal should be. And then, a sound from inside. Not a voice, not movement. A hospital bed, rolling wheels on tile. Except I hadn't opened the door yet. I stepped back, my clipboard trembled in my hand, and when I blinked, the plate was blank again, no number at all. Back at the nurse's station, I pulled the old patient files. There it was, a thick folder marked with black tape, Ward 13. Inside, admission slips with no discharge dates, all patients listed deceased, but with no signatures. One file stopped me cold. The patient's name was mine. Same spelling, same age, admitted, tonight's date, condition, observation. I dropped the file, and when I picked it up again, the page was blank. On my second round, the lights misbehaved. In Ward 10, they blinked twice. In Ward 11, they hummed low. In Ward 12, they shut off completely. When I turned, the only light in the corridor came from behind the forbidden door, a thin strip of yellow under Ward 13. It pulsed like a heartbeat, and then the overhead intercom crackled alive. Though no one was on duty, it whispered, "Admit one more." I swear, I never opened that door. But at 3 a.m., there was an extra bed in the hallway. Metal frame, white sheets. The chart at the footboard had one word, occupied. I pulled the sheet back. The bed was empty, but the pillow was indented, warm, as if someone invisible had just been lying there. I pushed the bed back toward storage, but the wheels turned by themselves, guiding straight back toward 13. The door opened an inch. Without my hand, an older nurse found me staring down that corridor. She didn't look surprised. She only whispered, "They never shut it down. They only hid it." Her eyes were tired, red from sleeplessness, patients from accidents, burn victims, soldiers. They overflowed the hospital. Ward 13 took them in, but none walked out. Before I could ask more, she pressed a finger to her lips. "Don't write their names." Then she turned the corner. I followed. She was gone. No footsteps, no sign she had ever been there. By midnight, I made my rounds again. In Ward 8, a patient asked for water. In Ward 9, a monitor blinked red. In Ward 10, silence. But when I reached Ward 12, every patient sat upright, awake, staring at the same corner. The wall pulsed faintly, like lungs beneath plaster. And from inside it, a steady knock. Knock. The rhythm of someone asking to be let out. I froze. All patients whispered the same words together. "Ward Tracy, I thought I could escape downstairs." The old elevator groaned as I pulled the gate shut. Buttons. Ground. 1, 2, 3. But one button was scratched out. The elevator moved, but the lights showed wrong floors. Basement. Sub-basement. Then 13. The elevator stopped. The gate slid open by itself. A hallway stretched into black. Faint hospital beds lined the walls. Charts dangled from them like tags at a morgue. I shut the gate fast. But before it closed, a handprint appeared on the glass. From the inside, I finally made it to the morgue. It should have been cold, mechanical, but it breathed. The drawers expanded slightly, then shrank, as if the room itself inhaled and exhaled. One drawer slid open with a screech. Inside, an empty sheet, folded carefully. Beneath it, carved into the metal tray, "Admit, observe, never discharge." The lights flickered, and all the drawers opened at once, empty, waiting. The intercom came alive again, but this time, it called names. One by one. Names of patients long dead. And then my name. Not once, but again, and again. Each time, louder, Each time, closer. The walls echoed. Admit, admit, admit. I pressed my palms to my ears. It didn't matter. The sound was inside my skull. At exactly 3:13 a.m., the hospital froze. All machines stopped. No monitors. No breathing tubes. No sounds. Every clock hand pointed to 13 past 3. And the corridor toward 13 opened fully, the door wide, the lights spilling out like yellow blood. Inside were beds, dozens of them. Sheets moving faintly, as if filled by bodies I could not see. And at the far end an empty bed, chart waiting. The chart bore my name again. This time, signed by me. I don't remember leaving. I don't remember walking back to the station. The next morning, the senior nurse asked why I looked so pale. I tried to laugh. I said nothing. But when I looked at the patient log, there it was. I'm speaking this now because maybe it matters. Maybe someone will hear me before the admission is final. But if you ever work a hospital shift and the corridor bends where it shouldn't, do not go in. Do not listen when the intercom calls your name. Because Ward 13 has no discharges, only admissions, and mine has already begun. End.